Welcome to your yoga practice today. Today we have a focus on our spine and the 6 ways we can move our spine, 6 ways we can move our spine. That being rounding or flexing the spine, kind of the back bend, or extending the spine, bending it one way to the side, other way to the side, and twisting in both directions. So 6 ways altogether. We'll start lying down today, and then we have a short kneeling section and then a couple of standing sequences, and each place will try to incorporate most of the different directions of the spine movement. So you can come and lie down. I'll stay seated to direct you through the beginning part. Lie down on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the ground, or you can stretch your legs out. Either soften your gaze, just finding one point on the ceiling to rest your gaze on, or you can close your eyes. When your body has settled, begin by taking a deep breath in through your nose and releasing that breath with a sigh through your mouth. You can do one more like that. Deep breath in, long sigh out. And start by observing your breath. Start by tuning into how the breath is feeling in your body today. Now we're going to switch from observing the breath to being involved in shaping the breath. Start now to begin to slow your breath down. Begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Making this a very gradual process. Creating space for your breath, feeling this sense of expansion in the abdomen and the rib cage, lifting your upper chest, and this feeling of letting go, the body releasing the breath as you exhale. And depending on when you are doing this practice, whether it's beginning of the day, middle, or end, your mind may be more or less busy with the stuff of your day. It could be that you get distracted by thoughts. We can't really stop our minds from thinking, but we can practice noticing when we get distracted or when our minds start to wander, and then bringing our focus back to our breath. Perhaps your breath is slowing down even more. We're going to add in a little visualization as you breathe in this way. So as you inhale, see if you can track from the base of your spine all the way to the top of the spine, to the brain stem, and to the midpoint in your brain. And you take a little turn and you finish that path in the space between your eyebrows. As you exhale, you retrace the path back to the base of your spine. Each inhalation follows the spine up to the stem of your brain, to the middle of the brain, and then finishing between the eyebrows. Your exhale retraces your steps back to the base of the spine. You could maybe visualize a little thread connecting these two places. And your awareness is traveling up and down that thread. with your breath. Just one more minute of this, moving the awareness up and down the spine and breathing in this way. And of course, noticing when our minds become distracted or wander away, and gently guiding it back to the focus of our breathing. Now let your breath come back to a very comfortable rhythm. So that might be the same as how you have been breathing when you've been doing the visualization, or it could now be slightly different. You're settling into a comfortable rhythm of inhale and exhale that you feel you can stay with for the practice. Our first of our asana practice today, our first asanas, our first postures are lying down postures. But we'll begin by hugging our knees into our chest. You're lying down. Some people like to cross the ankles. Some people prefer feet side by side. Whichever you prefer, do that. You can start to circle the knees. Could be taking both knees in the same direction or two separate circles going in opposite directions with your knees. And make sure you also circle in the other direction. From here, stretch your legs out along the mat. And we're going to start by making a bit of a banana shape with our body. We'll take both of your feet towards the bottom right corner of your mat or your space. If you want to cross the ankles, one over the other, either way, it's okay. And then the upper back moves towards the top right corner of your mat or space. You can rest your hands on your belly, or rest the hands on the ground overhead. It sometimes can feel a bit intense around the shoulders, and if you want to put a cushion under your hands, please do that. Or if one hand wants to stay on the waist, you can do that. And as you arrange your body in this curved position, so it's a slight sideways bending of your body, focus your awareness on the left side of the rib cage. Each time you inhale, have this sense of expansion out towards the left side. Now slowly ease your body back into a straight line again. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So now both feet moving towards the bottom left corner of your mat and the upper body towards the top left corner. Arms either over your head or resting on your rib cage or waist. Now the focus is on breathing into the right side of your rib cage. Smooth and steady breath. And really noticing what the sensation is here. And this might change the longer you stay in this place. Now bring your body back to that center line again. Again, hug your knees into your chest, a little rocking from side to side. From here, we're coming into spinal twist. Lift your hips, move them ever so slightly to the left. Then lift your feet off the ground. Your knees are above your hips. The shins kind of parallel to the ground. You can open your arms to the side. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lower both legs down to the right side. It's worth just having a couple of breaths and notice how this feels for you. And make then any adjustments to settle your body into a more comfortable position in this posture. Whether it's moving the arms, putting some supports between the knees or under the knees, or moving the position of the feet or the knees. I can give you lots of possibilities, but you're the one who knows best what you need for your body. Once your body is in a comfortable position, comfortable doesn't mean that there's zero challenge, but it does mean that there's zero pain. And actually that's a more complicated sentence than it sounds. For some people, there is pain in their bodies. And when we're coming into yoga postures, we kind of have a new baseline of how we work with that pain. When we come into a posture, if the pain is always there, we ask ourselves, does this make it feel better, the same, or worse? And if it's worse, we definitely don't want to be staying in the posture as it is. We can change our position, adjust, or come out of it. Next inhalation, lift your legs back up to center. Feet come back on the ground. And then move your hips towards the right side, just a little to the right of the center line. Lift your feet up. Big breath in as you breathe out. This time the legs are coming down both to the left side. There's no expectation that both sides feel the same. We use our body differently on each side, so it's natural that things feel different on one side, on the other side. Making any adjustments to make this a posture where you can find steadiness in the breath and the mind and the physical sensation. Next inhalation, one by one, the legs lift back up again. And bring your hips back to center. And again, you might want to hug the knees to the chest, rock a bit side to side. That will kind of settle your spine back in that, natural middle line. From here, we're coming into bridge pose. Feet roughly hip distance apart. Arms alongside your body, palms facing up if possible. That just helps tuck the shoulder blades under. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, tuck your tailbone, lift your lower, mid, and upper back off the ground. Couple of breaths to notice what you need here, whether that's reaching the sit bones towards your calf muscles, taking out any feeling of constriction in the lower back, whether it's easing the hips down or lifting them higher, whether it's focusing around your upper chest and feeling this sense of expansion in your upper chest as you breathe in. Smooth and steady breath, paying as much attention to your exhalation as your inhalation. Big breath in. And then on an exhalation, really slowly lowering your back down. See if you can feel every part of your back making contact with the floor, bit by bit, centimeter by centimeter. Take your feet and your knees a little wider. Inhale here. Exhale, both knees come down to the left side. Inhale, come back up to center. And then exhale, both knees down to the right side. And you can do that one more time each side with your own breath. It might be faster or slower than what I am doing. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side. And we'll meet up in tabletop position. So in this tabletop position, again, we're going to find our 6 directions of the spine. Start by, on your inhalation, tilting your pelvis, let the tummy reach down, chest forward, look forward. And then on your exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your back, chin towards your chest. Inhale back to center. And then this time as you exhale, hips move to the right and look over your right shoulder towards your right hip. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hips to the left, look over your left shoulder towards that left hip. Inhale back to center. This time, exhale, drop the left elbow down to the ground and look towards the right. Right arm is still more or less straight. Inhale, come back up again. Exhale, right elbow down and look to the left. These are your 2 spinal twists. Inhale, back up again. And exhale, feel that neutral spine once more. We'll do all of that again. Inhale to tilt the pelvis, tummy down, look forward. Exhale, slow round of the back, chin towards your chest. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hips to the right, look over your right shoulder. It's a side bend for the spine. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hips to the left, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left elbow drops down to the ground, look to the right. Inhale, lift back up again. And exhale, right elbow down, look to the left. Inhale, come back up again. Now as you exhale, hips reach back towards your heels, arms down, head down, and breathe into the back of your body, that feeling of the back of your body expanding up towards the ceiling on your inhale, and this feeling of releasing down towards the ground on your exhale. On your inhalation, come back to tabletop position. This time, we'll try to keep the hips above the knees and walk our hands further forward. I'm going to give a few options here, depending on how shoulders are feeling today. Drop your forearms down to the ground. And here, we are going to think about the upper part of the chest releasing or melting down towards the ground. You could be resting your forehead or your chin on the ground. Big breath in. As you exhale, chest releasing down towards the ground. And for many people, me included, that's really tough on the shoulders. You can also bend your arms and rest your head on your forearms, still the chest releasing down. Or the third option is to bring the palms together and lift your hands behind your head. That can sometimes help. Wherever you are, see if you can notice this feeling of extension in the back of the rib cage, so the thoracic part of the spine. Might be the same for you. Every time I do that, I feel a little crack, click there. It's a bit of a counteraction of us sitting all day long at computers and this rounding back just to get that bit of extension into that part of the spine. On your next inhalation, come back to tabletop position. And then as you're ready, on an exhalation, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Take time to pedal out the feet. Maybe you want to take your feet wider, or maybe bend your knees. You could sway the hips from side to side. And then when you're ready, either walk your hands towards your feet or walk your feet towards your hands. Whichever version you do, you can finish with your knees in a soft bend. Let your body dangle down towards the ground. Fingers will either be on the ground or on your shins or resting on your thighs. Then with your hands on your thighs, on an inhale, come back up to standing. Coming into our sun salutations today. Feet roughly hip distance apart. That could be different for you. Some people like to have their feet together. Some like to have a little bit wider the feet. On your inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold, hands coming down towards the ground. Could be that the hands are resting on the shins. And remember, it's always possible to have a chair here to rest your hands on the chair. I really like using a chair myself. On your inhalation, lift your body up for halfway lift. And then exhale, hands dangle back down towards the ground. Bend your knees. Inhale, step the right foot back, right knee down. Body lifts up and arms reach towards the back of your space. Next, inhale, lift your upper chest and gently squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. So the chest reaching as if it's trying to reach up towards the ceiling. Next exhalation, hands down to the ground. Step back into your plank. That could be one knee on the ground, no knees on the ground, both knees on the ground. Could be hands a little bit forward from the shoulders or hands under the shoulders. And on your next exhalation, knees onto the mat and lower yourself down to the ground. It's always an option to take it down to the forearms first and then bring the hips down. Then take your elbows roughly under the shoulders, forearms flat on the ground. Inhale, have the feeling of pulling your upper chest forward. Next exhale, lower back down again, hands behind your shoulders. Inhale up to tabletop position. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips up and back for downward facing dog. Knees come back down to the ground again. Next inhale, step your right foot forward. And arms lift up. Rest your right hand on your right leg. Inhale, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. As you exhale, side bend to the right. Lift back up again. This left hand so that it's reaching up, put it on the outside of your right leg with the fingers pointing down. Right hand reaches forward, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, open the arm to the side and then towards the back of your space or towards the corner. Whether here or here, it just depends what's going on in your body and what it feels like for you. You can look towards that hand if you want to, or look out to the side, like I'm doing. On your next exhalation, come out of that twist, hands come back down towards the ground, and then step your left foot forward. You can have a good old bend in the knees here, or straighten the legs. That's dependent on the backs of your legs, how they feel. On an inhalation, come all the way back up to standing, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands down. Got one more like this. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands back down towards the ground. You can bend your knees. Inhale, left foot steps back. Left knee down, lift your body up and reach your arms back. This feeling of the upper chest lifting up towards the ceiling. I always try to exaggerate movements so there's something to look at on the screen, but this could be a very subtle movement for you. Just the feeling, the intention of lifting and that feeling of extension in the upper back. It doesn't need to be a massive movement. Next exhalation, hands down to the ground. Step your right foot back, coming into your plank, whatever that is looking like. Try to keep lifting the front of your torso away from the floor, that you're pushing the floor away from you. And then drop the knees down to the ground and lower yourself all the way down, lying flat on your tummy. This time, arms alongside your body. Inhale to lift your upper chest, arms and legs. Then exhale, lower back down again. Hands behind your shoulders. Inhale, back up to tabletop position. When you're ready, on an exhale, downward facing dog. Knees come back down to the ground and then step your left foot forward. Arms lift up towards the ceiling. Rest your left hand on your left leg. On an inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, come back up again. Now this right hand with the fingers pointing down outside your left leg. Left hand reaches forward, big breath in. And as you exhale, left hand opens to the side and diagonally back or straight back. You can look at your hand or look towards the left side of your mat. Next exhale, come out of the twist, hands come down to the ground. Step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, come back up to standing. And exhale, relax. Now you can either have the feet hip distance apart or feet together. We're coming into Utkatasana or chair pose. Sometimes people like to have the legs together so they can squeeze the thighs together. Sometimes it feels better to have distance between the feet. If you're near a wall, you can do this with the hands on the wall or even resting the hands on the seat of a chair or on your legs or the arms reaching up. On your inhalation, hips down and back, arms reaching up. As you exhale, bring the palms together in the center of your chest. Inhale, have this sense of length through the spine. And then exhale, spinal twist to the right. Try to keep your thumbs in the center of your chest rather than the hands heading off doing all the work. Let the rotation come in your spine, and it doesn't matter how far you go. Now, you could very well notice that the left knee is sneaking forward a bit. And actually, that's okay. It depends how this feels for your back. If there's tweakiness in the back when you're doing this spinal twist, letting the knee come forward and letting your pelvis rotate with you can help. However, you also have the option, if you want to, of pulling the left knee back and then just noticing what the effect is on your spinal twist. If you would like to, you can take your left elbow outside the right thigh, palms together. You'll need to take your body a little lower for that. And then the right palm presses to the left in this position. On your exhalation, come out of the twist, hands come down to the ground. From here, step your left foot back. Keep your left knee up, keep your left hand on the ground. Another spinal twist. Inhale, the right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. On your exhalation, hands down to the ground and step back into tabletop position. Inhale, tilt your pelvis, tummy down, look forward. Exhale, back to tabletop position and hips reach back towards the heels. Arms down and head down. Come back up to tabletop position. Reach your right foot straight back behind you, toes resting on the ground, and then the left hand slides forward. Again, that feeling of lifting the front of your torso away from the ground. Next, inhale, lift your arm and your leg. Exhale, really slowly lower back down again. Very lightly touching the toe and the fingers to the ground. 2 more times this one. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Hand and knee back down to the ground. Next inhale, step the right foot forward. This time keep the fingertips on the ground. You can, again, that sense of the chest reaching forward, maybe the hips reach forward a bit more. And then exhale, left foot forward, forward fold. Deep bend into your knees. Inhale, lift your body, lift your arms, coming back into Utkatasana, chair pose. And then next exhale, standing back up again. Got this one more time. Bend your knees. Inhale, reaching forward and up. Straight into exhale, palms together in the center of your chest. Inhale, feel length through your spine. And then exhale, spinal twist to the left. Try to keep the thumbs in the center of your chest. Option to stay as you are, or to take the right elbow outside the left leg. You need to take your body lower for that. So here, or staying as you are here. In your exhalation, release from the twist. Hands to the ground, step your right foot back. Keep the knee lifted this time, right hand on the ground. Inhale, left hand reaches towards the ceiling. On your exhalation, hand down, step back into tabletop position. Inhale, tilt the pelvis, tummy down and look forward. And exhale, back to tabletop position. Send the hips back, arms down, head down, and relax. Inhaling, come back to tabletop position. Step your left foot forward. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, come all the way back up to standing. And exhale, hands down. From here, we have a couple of balancing poses. And I'm going to invite you today to consider using your wall to support your balance. It just feels really nice for these three postures. So you might want to consider it. You can also do it without the wall or holding onto a chair. But I'm going to use the wall today. So the three postures we are doing is this figure of four leg, standing pigeon kind of posture, Bharatanatyam, which is eagle pose, and then the spinal twist. Three different postures standing up. If you're using the wall, have a bit of space between the back of your hips and the wall, so not standing really close to it or we have nowhere to go. So when we come into the posture, you'll then sit your hips back to the wall in this way. So start by standing with both feet side by side. Feel the weight in both feet. Sway the weight into your left foot and lift your right knee up. Big breath in, and as you breathe out, bend your left knee and rest your hands against the wall. Take the outside of the right ankle across your left knee, right knee opens to the side, and then with your hands against the wall, guide yourself back to resting against the wall. Palms can be in the center of your chest or reaching down towards the ground, that's up to you, or resting on your leg. Smooth and steady breath here. Come out of the posture, hands back on the wall again. Push yourself away from the wall, lift back up to standing, foot comes down. Starting in the same way again. Maybe have hands on your waist, take weight into the left foot. Inhale, lift the right knee up. Exhale, bend the left knee. This time you're tightly crossing right leg over the left. Again, find the wall behind you and guide your hips back towards the wall. You can either rest your hands on your legs here or take your right elbow over your left, hands resting on your shoulders, or bring the hands, palms towards each other. Could be on a V shape as well. Release the arms, take your hands back to the wall, push yourself away from the wall, come back up to standing, foot comes down. So for the next one, there's actually two ways you can do it. I am going to do the version that it's actually going to be my left leg that lifts, but you should do your right leg. Otherwise I'll have my back to you for the purpose of this video. So if I have it right, left hand is against the wall, your left leg is close to the wall. Take the weight into your left foot, again, lift your right knee. And you need to be close enough to the wall for this one, a little bit closer than you were before. With your left hand, hold your right knee. Right hand reaches forward. We kind of did something similar kneeling. Big breath in. As you breathe out, hand opens to the side. And diagonally back or straight back. And now you can use the wall to rest your upper back against the wall. So as I said, you might want to shuffle a bit closer to the wall here. You're using your left hand to take the right knee forward, and the right hand is reaching diagonally or straight back behind you. On your exhalation, come out of the twist, and then foot comes down to the ground. And we'll do all of that on the other side. I'm getting very confused with my right and my left. I think I even did use my right leg here. All right, so back with your back to the wall again. Hands, you can feel where the wall is. Feet, weight in both feet. Take the weight into the right leg. On your inhale, lift your left knee up. Exhale, bend the right knee. And the outside of the left ankle across the right knee. Left knee opens to the side. Guide your hips back towards the wall. And then the palms together in the center of your chest, or resting on your leg or reaching down towards the ground. Hands against the wall, push yourself away from the wall. Inhale, come back up again, and then foot down. Doing the same thing again, weight into the right foot. Left knee lifts up on your inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee, cross your left leg over your right. Guide your hips back towards the wall. Option for left elbow over the right, palms together, or V shape, or resting on your shoulders. Release your arms, hands to the wall, push yourself away from the wall. Lift that knee back up again, and then foot down. Okay, now you're sideways to the wall. And you want to be with your, okay, now it is, you need to be with your right side against the wall. On your inhale, lift your left knee up. Right hand holds your left knee. Left hand reaches forward, big inhale, exhale, hand to the side, and then spinal twist. Just make sure that you're doing opposite to what you did before. And again, you can rest your back against the wall. So for me, you can see I'm doing both times the same side, just so I'm looking in this direction. Your exhalation, release from the twist, foot comes back down again. Okay, give your legs a little shake out and then come back to the top of your space. On your inhale, arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down. Bend your knees. On your inhale, step your left foot back. Step it back quite far. Bring your left knee down to the ground, untuck the toes. This last one is kind of a twisty, lungy kind of position. And we're targeting the outside of the left side of your body. So left side of your rib cage, of your hip, down the outside of the left leg. I'll talk you through it. Left hand reaches towards the top left corner of your space. It might even go outside your mat. Right hand is cupping your right knee. And eventually your forehead may come down to rest on your knee. Now, the action here is this twisting to the left, as if you're trying to rest the outside of your left leg and hip down towards the ground. Now, your left shoulder might lift up to your ear, and that's absolutely fine. This kind of sideways lunge. It may not be that I'm just, again, exaggerating the movement so you can see what I'm doing, this twisting action. And it could be that it's a subtle movement for you. You may come a little bit, you may go a lot, you may not be with your hands so far away. Just working on what sensation there is on the outside of the hip and the leg. If you want to, you can rest your head on your leg. And slowly ease yourself back out of this pose. Take your hips back a bit. Come back into tabletop position. Before we do the other side, we'll make some circles with the hips. Make sure you circle in both directions. Then step your, which one is it going to be? Left foot forward. Having difficulties with left and right today. Now it's your right hand that goes towards the top right corner of your mat. That could come actually off your mat. And your left hand will cup your left knee. Now the pelvis rotates so that the outside of the right leg can reach down towards the ground. And it could be that your right shoulder lifts up towards your ear or not. And you can bring your forehead towards your left knee. Slowly ease yourself back out again. Hands on the ground. Step back into tabletop position. And now either again, send hips towards the heels, arms down, head down and relax. Or, because we're heading in this direction anyway, you can do similar, but lying on your back. That means hugging your knees into your chest. So you take the orientation that feels good for you now. And then from here, bring the feet down. You can have either the feet flat on the ground or stretch your legs out. And we're coming into Shavasana. Shavasana is that final relaxation for our body, where we rest our body in the way where we can completely relax all of the muscles. So if you lie like this and it just feels really uncomfortable somewhere, see if you can find a better position. And it could also be lying on your side like this. It could be putting a cushion under your head or a cushion just under your hips. Find a way to lie that for you is completely comfortable. In fact, some people like to take Shavasana seated, upright, sitting on a chair or sitting against the wall. That is also okay. When your body feels settled, take a deep breath in and then sigh your breath out. Close down your eyes. Let your breath return to a very natural rhythm that is not being shaped by you. And have the intention to let your body completely release any tension. Relax muscles in the jaw, in your belly, arms and legs, heavy and relaxed. Let your mind meander wherever it wants to. Rest your body, rest your mind, rest. And slowly start to deepen your breath again. Bring intentional movement back into your body. Move your fingers, your toes, move your head. And stretch your body. When you're ready, bend your knees, roll to your side, and slowly come and sit up again. We'll finish our practice today, taking a deep breath in, long breath out. Take a moment to notice how you feel right now. And acknowledge the time that you found for yourself, for your practice today. And I acknowledge what you were able to do with your body today. And from me to each of you, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your practice. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.